Good evening and happy Friday, sports betting fans. This is Hardways Mike with SBI. I am back behind the microphone. No aces today. We'll get him on next week for sure. He did hold it down admirably while I was away. He had a guest on, our good friend Matt Woj. He is a college football expert, and he's also a golf expert, and I believe he got aces to talk some golf on the podcast. No small feat, believe you me. It was great to hear them talk about that. I was out this week, out of the offices this week. I'm finally back in the SBI offices, getting caught up on everything. I was doing a little scouting. I was down in the Southwest, checking out a couple of universities down there in the Pac-12. Well, maybe. We'll see. I'm not really sure what conferences are what right now. We'll have to ask, I guess, Matt Woj about that one. But I was down checking out University of Arizona, Arizona State. We have college football coming up. So, of course, we want to get as much information as possible. So, we do have sports betting, though. It is a little later here on Friday. But like I said, I'm just getting caught up. We do have a few games left in MLB. And we have NFL preseason to cover. A lot of great action on NFL preseason. If you're an NFL fan, it's been good so far. Usually these first games, these first week, you get, call it a lesser product, a little low scoring, but these games have been pretty good so far. But let's check over in Major League Baseball. We had some great games going on so far. We got the Braves up over the Mets 5-0 in the fifth, so that one's well in hand for the Braves. You got the Red Sox up over the Tigers 4-2. The Reds are blanking the Pirates 6-0. I love to see that. Phillies are up over the Twins. The Nationals are up over the A's. Guardians are losing to the Rays, and the Yankees are winning over the Marlins 7-4. Royals are shutting out the Cardinals. White Sox and Brewers are tied at 2-2. That's a high-scoring game right there. Over-under was only 8.5. Cubs are up over the Blue Jays 6-1. And the Astros and the Angels just started, bottom of the second, although it's already Astros 3-1. We got some games coming up. I will circle back to the rest of the Major League Baseball slate. We had some games last night in NFL preseason. Texans over the Patriots, the Seahawks over the Vikings. It was good to see Zach Charbonnet get a little action, a little run for the Seahawks, as well as Jordan Addison for the Vikings. Two rookies, two guys that I'm really excited about in the NFL this year, especially Jordan Addison. Right now, the Packers are beating the Bengals 21-16 at halftime. Giants are up 13-3. Falcons are up 6-0. We can go on and on. You don't want to listen to me drone on about scores in NFL preseason. I'm not sure how many people are actually paying attention to that. It is, if you are playing fantasy football or even for player props, season-long player props or season-long win totals, this is great information to glean. You can kind of get a sense for what the coaches are doing, what their game plans look like. I know they do try to keep a lot of stuff close to the vest, but it does help for understanding how teams are going to play when the regular season gets around to it. Before we jump into Major League Baseball, the rest of the games tonight, let's check out the FedEx St. Jude Championship. I believe Woj mentioned that on Monday. Right now, Lucas Glover is up. He is in the lead at 10 under par through the two rounds. Jordan Spieth at 9 under, just behind him. Tommy Fleetwood, Grillo, Moore, Im, and Kim are all 8 under, so you got a lot tacked there at the top. Rory, Hadwin, Scheffler, Poston, Davis, and Hodgins are 7 under, so that everybody there is within 3 strokes of the lead. You got quite a few. It looks like you got 12 people there. It's really anybody's tournament so far. That's in Memphis, the St. Jude Championship. And then next week, I believe we have the BMW Championship, which is here near us in Illinois at Olympia Fields. It's in the Chicagoland area. I'm really excited about it. It is a great event. We'll do a lot of coverage on that. We've got Major League Soccer coming up in a couple of weeks. We've got the Women's World Cup as well. We've got NASCAR this weekend, but let's go over to Major League Baseball and see what games we have left on the slate. So we got the Padres and the Diamondbacks. On the mound for the Padres, you had Blake Snell, 8-8 record with a 2.61 ERA, striking out almost 12 batters per 9, versus Ryan Nelson for the D-backs, 6-6 record with a 5.16 ERA. The Padres are the favorite in this game, no question about that. They are minus 155 on the money line. If you want to back that's over at Caesar Sportsbook. If you do want to back the Diamondback, that's plus 145 over on PointsBet and BetRivers. So a bit of a low hold there between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. For the Dodgers and the Rockies, big favorites here. The Dodgers, big. Dodgers have Lance Lynn on the mound, former White Sox great Lance Lynn. Remember, they traded him not that long ago over to the Dodgers. 8-9 record there for the Lance Lynn here between, I believe, I'm not sure how many starts he has under his belt with LA, but with the White Sox here, 6.11 ERA versus Austin Gombar for the Rockies, 8 record with a 5.40 ERA. As I mentioned, Dodgers are big favorites. Right now, you can get them at minus 292. Oof. Minus 292 over on Caesar Sportsbook. If you're not on Caesars, you got to pay minus 300 on BetMGM. If you want to back the Rockies, It is in LA, but if you do want to back the Rockies, plus 250 there on PointsBet. You can get that at Bet Rivers, DraftKings, basically anywhere. 240 on MGM, but also FanDuel has it at 250. Orioles and the Mariners. Let's see, what time's that game? That game is at 9:10 p.m., another late game. The Orioles have on the mound Kyle Gibson, 11-6 record with a 4.50 ERA versus Luis Castillo, 7-7 record for the Mariners with a 3.21 ERA. The Mariners are the favorite in that. It is in Seattle. They are minus 136 on the money line. That's the best line that I'm seeing. That's at Bet Rivers. Orioles, they are the leaders in the AL East still, and they are plus 125 over on PointsBet. So they are the dogs in that one. A series spotlight this week. We're going to be taking a look at the Rangers and the Giants. It's in San Francisco. We're taking a look at two teams that are on the rise. The Rangers are the lead in the AL West. A bit of a surprise. I think everybody thought Houston was going to take that one pretty easily. They're 2.5 games up over Houston with a 68-47 record versus San Francisco, who just overtook Arizona for second place. Well, not just overtook, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Overtook Arizona for second place there in the AL or the NL West, right behind the Dodgers. They're 6.5 games behind the Dodgers at 62-53. So they're in second place, hoping that they can make a push there later in the season. But let's go over to our MLB Today page, find out who've got on the mound for the respective teams. As I mentioned, the Rangers, they've got John Gray on the mound. They are the dogs, or they are the away team in this. He's got a 7-5 record with a 3.72 ERA versus Scott Alexander for the Giants, 6-2 record with a 4.01 ERA. Let's see. That game kicks off tonight at 9:15. That's the first pitch for there. If we go over to the game board, we see that the Rangers are barely the favorites there. It is in San Francisco, but they're minus 108 over on FanDuel Sportsbook. And that's the favorite because the Giants, actually, they are the favorite there because the Giants are minus 105 over on Caesar Sportsbook. So you got interesting spreads. It's basically a pick 'em. If you look at the Rangers, wow, low juice there because you can get minus 108 on FanDuel on either side, minus 110 on PointsBet on either side. The Rangers are the favorites, minus 112 to minus 108 on DraftKings. Let's see, minus 115 for the Rangers on Caesars versus minus 105. So pick your poison there. This one, the books are expecting a toss-up. Certainly this should be a hard-fought match between these two teams. If we go over to the game page, right now we can take a look at the run line. It is Giants plus 1.5 at minus 165, Rangers minus 1.5. So that tells you right there the Rangers are the favorite in the book's mind. That's the base run line. That's plus 148 over on Bet Rivers. Over-under is sitting at 8.5, shaded ever so slightly to the under. Under 8.5, you can get it at minus 108 over on Bet Rivers versus minus 104 over on FanDuel Sportsbook. But again, this is a toss-up. You got a lot of minus 105s across the board, or minus 110s between BetMGM on either side, Caesars and DraftKings there as well. I'm going to tease up this Rangers run line a little bit. So Rangers minus 2.5 is plus 230. And then the Giants plus 2.5 is minus 275. Gets pretty expensive there. If we take a look at the money line movement for the Rangers, this one has bounced all over the place. So it opened at minus 108, early evening yesterday, then all the way down to minus 116, back up to 108, kind of in the middle, and that's where it's settled out. So interesting that this one has bounced all over the place. I don't think the books know what to expect, where the money's coming in on this. Just an interesting line movement there for these teams. And then for the Giants, opened up at minus 110 around the same time, maybe a little later yesterday, and then got bet all the way down to plus 100. Even money. If you were up late, you could have gotten the Giants at even money if you like them. Right now, it's currently sitting at minus 105. So a bit of a not quite as dramatic line movement there for the Giants. But yeah, it's kind of going back and forth a little bit there. We'll see where this one shakes out. You got about a little over an hour 20 before this one starts. So let's look at some player props for that game, though. Of course, we love our players. We love dingers, and it was great to see Aces keeping it in check for Dinger Tuesday. He brought up a lot of great stuff. I did take Matt Olson on his recommendation. It was great odds. Unfortunately, he didn't come through. I'm sure he hit a home run at some point this year. It's just death taxes and Matt Olson hitting home runs in the days I don't bet him. So it is what it is. I will keep betting him on Tuesday if his odds are really good. But let's go ahead and look at the Rangers and see who we got. Let's see. Nathaniel Lowe is a guy who does hit some dingers here. Let's see. Home runs over. Okay, so, wow. Every once in a while, hit a home run. You can get it at plus 1050 over on PointsBet. So if you're interested in betting Nathaniel Lowe to hit a home run, how about a guy that hits a few more home runs than Marcus Semien over there for the Rangers? Home runs over. So he's currently at plus 600 on DraftKings. That's actually pretty good. They must be thinking the pitchers are going to lock these guys down, because I'm surprised to see Marcus Semien that high at plus 600. He's plus 550 on BetMGM and plus 520 there on FanDuel. I have not been paying attention to very many home run lines this week. I've been way too busy, so I'm not sure what's been going on other than I hit a couple over on Dinger Tuesday. Had to play Dinger Tuesday. Of course, can't not play Dinger Tuesday. So that is it for MLB tonight. We've got a full slate this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Our series spotlight will continue with the Rangers and Giants at 8:05 on Saturday, and then Sunday, that game, I believe it's a mid-afternoon game, a 3:05 game. So for that, it'll wrap up the 3-game series for that and Major League Baseball. We'll be back to talk lots more. We've got the regular season for NCAA football in 15 days. We've got an advent calendar here at the SBI offices. We love checking that or ticking that box off or pulling it down. It's super exciting that NCAA football is not that far away. Keep an eye out, because we got a lot of great stuff coming. We got a lot of opportunities for you to make some money. If you're into NASCAR, we got the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. I'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. And then the Women's World Cup. We've got a couple of games. We're still in the knockout stage. Sweden beat Japan. Japan was the favorite last night or early this morning. Sweden won 2-1 in full time there. Barely, I believe there was a 92nd minute there for Sweden to actually sneak that one in. So good for Sweden moving on. Australia and France tonight. France is a favorite at plus 115 on the money line. England and Colombia. England's a big favorite on that, big-ish favorite on that, minus 190 there for England. And then I believe Tuesday we start the round of, is it the round of 8? Round of something. And Spain takes on Sweden at 3 a.m. Not sure if you're going to be up watching that, let us know. That's it. I do want to leave you with a plus EV bet, because we are pulling international soccer lines again. International soccer started up. Match day 1 is this week for the English Premier League. I believe we had a game today. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure we had a game in the EPL today. We did. Man City, no doubt about that. They won 3-0 over Burnley. But we've got games starting at 6:30 tomorrow through 11:30, and then we've got a couple games on Sunday as well. So we're pulling international soccer lines, and we've got a ton of international soccer plus EV bets. Now, a lot of these are bigger odds, so just be aware of that. Mind your bankroll, mind your money management. Let's take a look at the one Major League Baseball one. We got a plus 6% plus EV bet. Phillies minus 1.5 over on Bet Rivers at plus 185. That's tomorrow's Phillies game. So a reminder, Phillies minus 1.5. That's at 5 o'clock Central Time. The Phillies and the Twins. The Phillies run line of minus 1.5 is plus 185, plus 6% EV. That's over on Bet Rivers. If you want a soccer one, let's find a quick soccer one that's for you. Let's see. How about League One? Everybody loves a little French soccer, right? Laurent versus Paris SG. That's on Saturday, 2 o'clock. If you want to take the under 1.5 runs, or under 1.5 goals, that is, let's see here, my plus 480. That's plus 5.45% positive expected value. That's also on Bet River. So again, Laurent versus PSG, 2 o'clock on Saturday, under 1.5 goals, Bet Rivers plus 480. Mind your money management, bankroll, very important. That's it for me tonight. I'll be back tomorrow to talk more Major League Baseball and a lot of football, because we have a lot. Football is coming up. We're super, super excited about that. My name is Hardways Mike with SBI. As we say over here at SBI, you don't always have to bet, but when you do, wager wisely.